Hi guys, a very warm welcome to all of you in our YouTube channel Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth, and I'm your educator Saranya. And today our topic is types of vectors. We're going to learn different types of vectors in detail, covering all the portions required for your GATE exam. Okay, so types of vectors. Different types of cloning vectors are used for different types of cloning experiments. So based on your experiments and based on your research, the vectors varies. Okay. The vector is chosen according to the size and the type of DNA to be cloned. Okay. So some vectors can incorporate small DNA and some vectors can incorporate large DNA. Okay, when I say small and large, it means the number of base pairs. Okay, number of kilo base pairs it can incorporate. And the DNA which is being incorporated into the vector, and that is called as insert. Okay, so vector is the carrier and the insert is the DNA. Okay, that is a gene of interest. So if you see bacterial plasmid, it can take up to 6 to 12 kilobases. Okay, 6 to 12 kilobase. 1 kilobase will be equal to 1000 base pair. Okay, so bacterial plasmid can take up to 6 to 12 kilobases. Bacteriophage can take up to 25 kilobases, which means 25,000 base pairs. Cosmids, they can take up to 35 kilobases or 35,000 base pairs. Yeast artificial chromosome are the maximum. Okay, they are the maximum kind of vectors which can take a very large insert size. Okay, and they can take up to 200 to 1000 kilobases. Okay, so yeast artificial chromosomes, note this point, very important guys. Yeast artificial chromosomes are the type of vectors which can take up to 200 to 1000 kilobases of insert, so which can take up to large insert size maximum. So sizes of representative plasmids. Okay, plasmid name they have given here, nucleotide length, that is kilobases, and molecular weight they have given molecular weight, and the organism. So PBr 345. Okay, so it can have 0.7 kilobases, molecular weight is 0.46 MDA. Okay, megadaltons, and organism is E. coli. These are for general information for you. Okay, like what are the different types of plasmids available and what can be its base pairs and what organism can produce it. These are general information for you. Okay, you do not have to memorize these things, but simply you should know. PBr 322, very famous one. Okay, it is from organism E. coli. Its size is 4362 bases or 4.362 kilobases. Okay, next you have col E1, that is also from E. coli. RP4 is from Pseudomonas. F plasmid from E. coli. Tol from Pseudomonas putida. P-Ti ACH5 is from Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Okay, these are some of the examples of plasmid and its size and the organism which produces it. Okay, for general information. Okay guys. So copy number of some plasmids. In the previous class, we saw about what a copy number is. Copy number means how many, that is number of plasmids present in a cell. How many number of plasmids present in a cell is called as copy number. It can vary from 1 to somewhere around 300. Okay, so it can vary according to the type of organism. For F plasmid, the copy number is 1. P1 prophage, it is 1. RK2, it is 4 to 7. PBr 322 is 16. This is an artificial plasmid. Okay, artificial. PUC 18, 30 to 50. PIJ 101, it is 40 to 300. Okay, this is also for your general information. so that you can relate the concepts we studied yesterday. Okay, what is copy number and how much it will be. These are some of the examples you can know. Okay, so the type of vectors we are going to see, first one is cosmid. Okay, we are going to see first type of vector, that is cosmid. Okay, cosmids are medium-sized cloning vectors. They are medium in size. Okay, the cloning capacity of these vector is 35 to 45 kilobases, which means insert size. Okay, insert size is 35 to 45 kilobases. Cosmid vectors are developed by combining the features of plasmid vector and bacteriophage vector. Okay, from the name itself you can find out that cos for the bacteriophage vector and mid for plasmid. Okay, bacteriophage plus plasmid gives you cosmid because bacteriophage viruses have cos site in them. Okay, they have cos site in their DNA. That's why the name cos, and since it's a plasmid, mid. Okay, cos mid. The first cosmid vector was described by Collins in 1978. A cosmid is a plasmid, okay, that contains phage sequences. Phage means viral sequences that allows the vector to be packaged and transmitted to bacteria like a phage vector. So it basically acts like a phage vector. Okay, a cosmid is a type of hybrid plasmid because it has both the properties of a bacteriophage and a plasmid that contains a lambda phage cos sequence. Okay, I already told you cosmid contains cos site. Okay, cos sequence. Cosmid's cos site plus plasmid is equal to cosmid. DNA sequences are originally from the lambda phage. Okay, cosmid sequences is obtained from lambda phage. So you can see here what are the components of a cosmid. Okay, it has a cos site, it has ampicillin resistance gene, it has origin of replication, and it has a polylink. Okay, so features of the plasmid you can see origin of replication is present, multiple cloning site is present, selectable marker is there. Features of lambda phage, this is the features of plasmid. Okay, features of lambda phage is that it has cos site. So these two characteristics, that is the features of plasmid plus the features of lambda phage, together we can find that in a cosmid. Okay. So what are the properties of cosmid vector? So these are fused together to obtain cosmid vector. Okay, what are fused together? Cos site from the lambda bacteriophage and a plasmid vector. And its size is approximately 200 base pair. Lambda sequence is cloned into cosmid vector. A cosmid vector may have one or two cos sites. So it can have either one or two cos site. Cos site is nothing but it is some kind of sequence present in the bacteriophage genome. Cosmid vector are used in the construction of genomic libraries. Okay, it is used in the construction of genomic DNA libraries. We'll study about that. Okay. Cosmid vectors have cloning capacity of up to 45 kilo base pairs. Okay, they can take the insert size of up to 45 kilo base pairs. That is 45,000 base pairs. So you can see here, this is a cosmid which contains origin of replication, ampicillin resistance gene, and cos site. You cleave at the polylinker. Okay, it's like a multiple cloning site. You can cleave here. Cleave here at the polylinker. You can get a cos site. You can get a cos site. Okay. So what you can do is you can take the target DNA and cleaved cosmid. This is the cleaved cosmid. This you can attach to your target DNA. Okay, so it will come somewhere like this. So this is the target. The blue regions are your target DNA and cos is the cos site. Okay. So next kind of vector we are going to talk about is Ti plasmid. Very important guys, very important. So Agrobacterium tumefaciens. So Agrobacterium tumefaciens, these are microorganisms that causes crown gall disease. Okay, that causes crown gall disease in plants. Okay, and that is due to TI plasmid. Crown gall disease means it's like a tumor disease. So it harbors a large circular DNA known as TI plasmid, which exists as an independent extra chromosomal entity. This is the definition of plasmid, right? Extra chromosomal entity, and which can replicate independently. And this is of size 200 kilobases. The most spectacular regions of TI plasmid are the presence of tDNA, or it is called as transfer DNA, and Vir genes. Okay, tDNA and Vir genes are present in TI plasmid, and they are most spectacular regions. They are very useful regions. So there are two types of TI plasmid based on the synthesis of opine class of amino acids. One is nopalline TI plasmid and the other one is octapine TI plasmid. Okay. So in octapine TI plasmid, there are two regions. Okay, in octapine TI plasmid, there are two regions. One is 13 kilobases and the other one is 8 kilobases, which are near to each other, very close proximity. Presence of, this is opine synthase. Okay, opine synthase region in the TI plasmid controls the synthesis of opine class of amino acids. So opine synthase region is present in TI plasmid and that controls the synthesis of amino acids present in opine class. Okay. Opine synthesis is controlled by the enzyme. Very important, note it down. Opine synthase and nopalline synthase. Okay. Octapine synthase and nopalline synthase. These two enzymes are very much responsible and for the control of opine synthesis. Okay, and they are present at loci. Loci means the region of the gene called as OCS, that is octapine synthesis or synthase, and nopalline synthase. Okay, on octapine and nopalline TI plasmid. So these two enzymes are very important. This is what looks like a tDNA. Okay, this is the structure of tDNA. You can see here tDNA conserved border sequence. The border sequence are conserved. I hope you guys know the meaning of conserved. Conserved means in all the organisms this sequence is same. It does not change at all. So you can see here nopalline TI plasmid. It has Vir genes and tDNA. Okay, this causes cancer in plants. Okay, this is octapine TI plasmid. You can see here tDNA where 13 kilobases and 8 kilobases nearby each other and Vir genes are present. So tDNA of nopalline TI plasmid. You can see here left border region, right border region. This is nopalline synthase. Okay, this produces opine amino acids. Similarly, this is the region for octapine TI plasmids. So this is a total structure. Okay, this is the total structure of TI plasmid, and this region, this blue color region, is the tDNA region. This is the tDNA region, or we can call it as transfer DNA region. And what does it contain? It contains left border and right border sequence, and within the left border and right border you have important genes. Okay, auxin, cytokinin and opine. These genes are present in the tDNA region. And in the rest of the plasmid you have opine catabolism genes, origin of replication and virulence gene or Vir genes. Okay, so this is the structure of TI plasmid. Okay, that is all you have to know. Next is bacterial artificial chromosome. So these are basically artificial chromosome, which means it has been engineered in the lab. Okay, a bacterial artificial chromosome or BAC is an engineered DNA. Okay, it is engineered in the lab molecule used to clone DNA sequence in the bacterial cell. The name itself says bacterial. Okay, so this is used to clone the DNA sequences in the bacterial cells. Okay, bags are often used in connection with DNA sequencing. Okay, basically bacterial artificial chromosomes are used for DNA sequencing. Their application is DNA sequencing. So segments of an organism's DNA ranging from 100,000 to about 300,000 base pairs, which means 100 kilobases to 300 kilobases of insert can be inserted into bag. Okay, 100 to 300 kilobase pairs of DNA can be inserted into bags. The bags with their inserted DNA are then taken up by the bacterial cell, and that is what is called as transformation. As the bacterial cells grow and divide, they amplify the bag DNA, which can then be isolated and we can sequence the DNA. So you can see here, this is the bacterial plasmid, okay, the plasmid, the gene of interest, and okay, this is the gene of interest. This is the gene of interest. You have, okay, gene of interest. This is the bacterial artificial chromosome which is inserted into an E. coli, and from E. coli you can clone and obtain the segments of DNA. So common gene components in bacterial artificial chromosome. So Rep-E, okay, Rep-E is replication E for plasmid replication and regulation of copy number. This is very important and must for you to remember. Okay, so I'll definitely tell you which of the things you have to remember and which are the things you just have to know. Okay, there are few things, if you know, it will be better for your understanding. And there are certain things which you have to remember, which you have to by heart, which have to be in fingertips. Okay, so I will definitely tell you, keep your attention. Okay, pay attention. If you pay attention properly, all the points, all the questions necessary for your GATE exam will be completed. Okay, all you have to do is pay attention. Okay, so Rep-E is replication. Rep means replication. Okay, this is for the replication of plasmid and to regulate the copy number. Okay, Rep-E is responsible for the replication of plasmid and regulation of copy number. You know what is copy number, right? Next is PAR A and PAR B genes. These are also present in BAC. For partitioning, R means partitioning F plasmid DNA to daughter cells during division and ensure stable maintenance of BAC. Okay, for partitioning of F plasmid DNA. You know what is F plasmid DNA? That is fertility plasmid. Okay, so partitioning of the fertility plasmid DNA to the daughter cells during the division and also to maintain the BAC. Okay, PAR A and PAR B are used. Next is selectable markers. You know the function of selectable markers. Okay, example you have is antibiotic resistance gene. Some BACs also have LAGZ. Okay, LAGZ is lactose is a gene at the cloning site for blue-white screening. About blue-white screening, we'll study in detail in the future classes. Okay, that for now you remember that it is also a kind of selectable marker. Why do we use selectable marker? To obtain the clone, to identify the clone which contains the gene of interest. So T7 and SP6 phage promoters for the transcription of inserted genes. So T7 is basically a promoter, and why is a promoter necessary? For the transcription of that particular gene. Okay. ORES means origin of replication. Okay, these are the most important components of bacterial artificial chromosome. Very important for you guys to know. You have to know this. So you can see here, this is a example of bacterial artificial chromosome. You can see here, so many components are present here. So many components are present. Rep-R we saw. Okay, Rep-R we saw, right? These are different multiple cloning sites. Multiple cloning sites means you can cut this area, okay, with restriction enzymes. You have LAGZ also. Okay, origin of replication you have. So many genes it contains because its size is very large, and also it can take up to 300 kilobase pairs of DNA. Its size is very large. So bacterial artificial chromosomes are similar to E. coli plasmid vectors. They contain origin of replication and genes which encode origin of replication binding proteins. So these proteins are very important for back replication. Okay, it is derived from the naturally occurring F plasmid. Very important point. Note this down. The DNA insert size varies between 100. Here it is given 150, but yeah, 100 is also possible. 100 to 300 kilobases. Okay. Advantages of bacterial artificial chromosome. They are capable of accommodating large sequences without any risk of rearrangement. So good, they can accommodate large sequences. They are useful for studies like genetic and infectious disorders. High yield of DNA clones we can obtain from BACs. Disadvantage is that it has low copy number. Low copy number means within a bacteria, the number of BACs will be very less. The eukaryotic DNA insert with repetitive sequence are structurally unstable. So eukaryotic insert, if you put in a bag, it will be unstable and it will lead to deletion or rearrangement of genes, and you will get a very faulty and defective protein as a result. Application of bag. So it is useful in studying the genetic diseases and to conduct experimentation in the transgenic mice. It is also useful in the study of neurological diseases like Alzheimer's disease, Down syndrome. The genome of several large DNA viruses and RNA viruses have been cloned as BAC to study infectious clones. Okay. Next is yeast artificial chromosome. Very important, guys. Very important. A large DNA insert of up to 200 kilobase can be cloned in the yeast artificial chromosome. This can also be called as YACs. Okay, YACs can have an insert size of about 200 kilobase, and they are used for cloning inside the eukaryotic cells. Okay, bacterial artificial chromosome or BACs we saw, they are most useful in cloning in the bacterial cell. You will put that vector inside a bacterial cell. Yeast artificial chromosome you will put inside a eukaryotic cell. That is the difference. Okay. These acts as a eukaryotic chromosome inside the host eukaryotic cell. It possesses the yeast telomere at each end. A yeast centromere sequence is present which allow proper segregation during the meiosis. The origin of replication is bacterial in origin. Okay, it has two types of origin of replication. One, it can also have a yeast artificial chromosomes origin of replication and bacterial origin of replication. Both yeast and bacterial cell can be also used as a host. Okay. This YACs can be used inside yeast as well as bacteria. Okay. Such type of vectors which can be used within two different types of cells like yeast and bacteria are called as shuttle vectors. Okay, shuttle vectors are nothing but which can replicate, which can have origin of replication for both yeast as well as bacteria, two different kind of cells. Advantages is that it can incorporate a large amount of DNA. Basically, it is used for physical mapping of the human genome. Disadvantage is that its transformation efficiency is low because its size is large. The more the size, transformation efficiency will be low, inversely proportional. The yield of cloned DNA is also low. So this is what yeast artificial chromosomes look like. It has origin of replication, SEN region, okay, for we studied, right, SEN region here for proper segregation during meiosis. Eco R1 site you have restriction site, you have markers, you have telomeric regions, okay, BAM H1 regions. So this is the structure of a yeast artificial chromosome. So advantages of BACS over YACS. So what is the advantage of bacterial artificial chromosome over yeast artificial chromosome? So BACS are more stable, they're easy to transform, purification, simple procedure, user friendly, and it's most useful for the development of vaccines. Okay, so these are the advantages of BACS over YACS. That is all guys for you today about the types of vectors. This class is really important. I hope you guys had paid enough attention to soak all the knowledge in your brain, right? Okay, if you are a CSIR net aspirant and are interested in subscribing for Unacademy paid classes, you can do that and follow Neha Taneja ma'am. To get 10% off, you can use the referral code NEHA. Okay, so this is the pricing for different months. So you can like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth. You can join our Telegram channel Gurmantra where you'll get regular updates. You'll get regular updates about the classes. Okay, so every day our class is there. At 10 o'clock you have English version. At 10:30 you will have Hindi version. Okay, you can join our Facebook page Gurmantra Shiksha Ka Granth where you will get all the updates too. If you want, you can visit our website www.gurmantra.in. If you have any questions or queries, you can contact us at tanejanehaofficial@gmail.com or you can call us on 9351280000. Thank you so much guys and have a nice day and keep preparing, practicing, revising. Okay, it's very important guys, very important. So thank you so much.